Okay, here we go. This is Wednesday. The guys, it's the 6th, October 6th. Time is rolling. We're gonna work on our warm up. I'm gonna go over the homework for you because there was a lot of stuff in there that you didn't know. Um, then we're gonna finish up the reading graphs, and hopefully get to the study guide. We're only gonna do a few of the reading graphs, and then I'm gonna give you the study guide to do. Your homework for tonight is set C. Okay, and I need you to work on the study guide. Okay. All right. Let's look at the warm up to make sure we know how to do that. Okay, good people. Here we don't have distributive property. We can't combine anything over here together because they're not like terms, nor are these like terms. Okay, so we have to move the variables to the same side. We're going to move either this one or this one. I'm going to move this so that because I know when I move it, I have to add it, and adding fractions is easier than subtracting, right? So we're going to add 3/4 t to both sides. Okay, because we're getting the variables to the same side. When you add 3/4 t on this side, that cancels this out, and we're left with just the 5 over here. Now over here it's a little different. You have the -12 that you bring down, but now you've got to add fractions. When you add fractions, you have to have a common denominator. So you look for least common multiple. The least common multiple between these two is 8. Okay? So here, the denominator is the same, so your numerator is going to be the same also. Bring over the t. You went from 4 to 8. What did you multiply to get 4? 2. So you multiply by 2 to the numerator and get what number? 6. Okay? We are adding fractions. So after we found a common denominator, now we're going to add the numerators, correct? Mm-hmm. So when you add those numerators, what does that give you? 7 over 8t. Now we have to get t by itself. So what do we do to get t by itself? No.
Multiply. Add the 12.
Add the 12. Get rid of any number that you can add or subtract first. What's 5 plus 12?
17.
Okay. Then this is gone, and I bring down the 7 over 8t, okay? Now what are we going to do to get t by itself? Very good. Both of you are right. Dividing by this fraction is the same as multiplying by the reciprocal, okay? What's the reciprocal of 7 over 8? 8 over 7. Good job. So now we multiply straight across. So we got 8. Oh, you will need your calculator for this. So row 1 and 2, and pause real quick. You're going to need your calculator. So let's go ahead and do that. All right. So here we go. We multiply straight across. Let me do this over to the side. 8 over 7 times 17 over 1. So when we do this, we have 8 times 17, and that gives us 136 over 7. Now let's divide. What's 136 divided by 7? 19.42. Okay, or 0.43 about. So that's what a t is about. Okay. All right, let's graph. We said solve for y, and then we graph it. Okay. Yes, baby. I can't see that. You have to divide by 7. It's 7 on the bottom, so you have to divide it by 7. Okay. All right. What do we do here to solve for y? Minus 10 on both sides. Okay, this is gone and we're left with 11y. What inequality is this? Greater than. And what do we get on this side? Come on, y'all. Negative 11. Now what do we do to get y by itself? Divide by what number? 11. So this is going to be y is greater than what number? Negative 1. So now you're going to draw a number line. You're going to put negative 1 here. Put a couple numbers on this side, a couple numbers on this side. Okay, so we got negative 1, 0, 1, 2, negative 2, negative 3. Now, are we going to have an open circle or a closed circle here?
Open.
It's open because what? Because there's no equal to. Yes, no equal to. Are we going to shade to the left or are we going to shade to the right? To the right. It's greater than.
Is something like this going to be on the test?
Yes. Okay. All right. Let's solve for C. So we got to simplify this first. What's 9 squared? And guys, if you have a calculator, you can type this in your calculator. You have 9 squared plus 12, right? Square. You see how I did that? What's 9 squared plus 12 squared?
225.
225. So this side is 225 is equal to C squared. Now how do we solve a problem that looks like that? How do you get C by itself?
How you write it?
Write what?
The 9 squared to
9 is right here. And then squared is right here. And then plus 12 and then squared is right here. Got it? Okay. All right. Yes.
You subtract it on both sides?
Subtract what? No. How do I get rid of the squared? What's the opposite of squaring a number?
Square root.
Square root. Come on, y'all got to be able to identify that. Y'all can't just wait for my cues to do that. Okay, you got to know. What's the square root? And remember, type the square root in the calculator. You press the second button and the x squared button. What's the square root of 225? Yes.
15.
15. So C is equal to 15. Okay, so let's look. Let me pause real quickly. I'm going to give you a sheet or something. All right, so I gave you an already sheet. And let me find mine. Please make sure that you put your first and last name on it. Okay. We started this last week. Yes, you need one too? Can you pass this? All right. Please put your first and last name on it. We started this last week. It's due. Please put this date, October 22nd. It's not due October 23rd because October 22nd is the last day of the quarter. So I don't accept anything. Well, I can't accept anything after the last day of the quarter, which is a Friday. So it's due October 22nd. All right. So this is how this works. 3 lessons pass. If you pass, you have to pass and complete 3 lessons. That's going to be 100. 2 lessons pass and complete is an 80. 1 lesson pass and complete is 60. Okay? It's super easy. You need to just get it done. Last week you should have done your first lesson. If you didn't, just do it this week. Make sure you put the title of the lesson here, the date, whatever score that I already gave you, and whether or not it will tell you if it's passed. Okay? And then one thing that you learn about the lesson. The last column is optional, okay? Because you might not have any questions. Any questions about this part? I'm going to show you on Canvas where to find this. Pause for the code. All right, so let's go over the homework because there was a lot of things that you didn't understand about that, so I want to make sure. Remember, I told you to go ahead and cross out the Mondays because we didn't have Monday homework. All you were supposed to work on was makeup work Monday. So we're gonna look at the Tuesday. I just said that. Calm down. Guys, even when you don't listen, the only way to make your brain stronger is that you have to be challenged. Just go through it, read it. You don't get it, try something. Don't just leave it blank. It's better than not doing anything at all. Because when I don't go over these, I'm not counting if they're wrong. I'm counting it for its completion. So when you leave it blank and you don't put anything in, you're definitely not going to get any credit anyway. So please try. Don't leave anything blank. All right. So we're going to do these together. The ones that you need. Okay. Come on, focus. Focus, please. Okay. We got to get this done. We got too much to do. This is Tuesday. Number 1. This is 7B. All right. So look at this one. It says the Sims Music Department ran a fundraising car wash. They purchased $55 in supplies and will charge $7.50 per car. We're writing an equation for this situation and figuring out what the break-even point is. All right. So first, it costs them $55. They starting off in the hole $55. Plus, every car that they wash, they're gonna gain $7.50. So that's plus $7.50 for every car that's washed. So $7.50 times how many cars they wash. So if they wash 2 cars, it's $7.50 times 2. 3 cars, $7.50 times 3, so on and so forth. The break-even amount is if they get that $55 back, right? Because they had to spend out $55. Does that make sense? What I'm saying? So, well, actually, break-even amount is 0. All right. So $0 is the break-even amount. So let's do. How do you do this problem? What are we gonna do? Oh gosh. Oh, sorry, y'all. What are we going to do to get C by itself?
You said get C by itself.
Mm-hmm. But you can't. You have to get rid of anything you can add or subtract to move first. Go back and read your notes, okay? This is gone, and we're left with 750C. It's equal to 55. Now we're gonna divide like you told us to, right? And this gives us C is equal to what number? What's 55 divided by? What's 55 divided by 750?
7.3.
So how many cars is that going to be? About roughly 8 cars. Because we can't do part of a car. I'm just going to wash the hood and get on out of here, buddy. That's so ghetto. Okay. So we can't do that. So we got to do about 8 cars. Any questions about that? Please show your work on a separate piece of paper. Don't write on top of this. To be honest, I ain't going to be able to read that. So when people submit that, I'm like, wish I could read it. 0. Okay, because I can't read that. Please write it on a separate piece of paper. Yes.
With this one, I just wrote the equation, but then the equation and then an answer equation. Put it right at the top.
Okay, so you just have to show your work how you get the amount. Don't try to shortchange me. All right. Number 2. Anybody need to see number 2? Number 3. Anybody need to see number 3? Do you have this written? Because parent, are you sure? I need you to take it out so I can see it. Hold it up.
This is my favorite, probably.
Hold it up. I want to see that.
This is my favorite.
I didn't do all the
Let me pause.
You did?
So we are finished up. Shh, come on. We got a lot to do. And I'll give it all to you for homework. And I know you don't want that. So let's get it done. Number 4, it says, without using the calculator, okay, so they don't want you to use the calculator here. You have to figure out, this needs to match up with these. This is the part you don't know, so I'm going to tell you how to do this. Please write this down. With A, write it down. You have Y is equal to some number times X plus another number, okay? This is always, you see, X is not squared. X is not an exponent. This is going to graph a straight line. It's going to be a linear function. Linear functions graph straight lines. Straight lines. So equations that look like this are going to graph straight lines. Equations that look like this are going to graph straight lines. So you might see something y is equal to 2x plus 4. This is a linear function. It's going to graph a straight line. B, we have y is equal to ax squared plus b, okay? X is raised to the second power. This is what you call a quadratic function. This is what you call a quadratic function, okay? Because x is raised to the second power. It graphs U-shaped lines. It graphs U-shaped lines. Okay, up U or up an upward U or a downward U, not sideways. It's either up or down. All right. C. C looks like this. This type of function we are not going to cover this year. Okay, we're not going to cover this function. Anytime you see a number on top divided by the x, it's a graph that looks like this. You have a part of the equation that looks like this in one and a part of the equation that looks like this in the other, or vice versa. Okay, so that's the kind of function. That's what that function looks like. And D, you have y is equal to a to the x power. This is called an exponential function. Okay, with this exponential function, oh Lord, x is the actual exponent, and that's gonna look like this. Either it's gonna increase rapidly, like a curve. It's gonna be a curved line going up, or it's gonna be a curved line going down. Okay, so that's what it's gonna look like. That's what exponential function looks like. Okay, so now we gotta match up the graphs. Yes.
Anything with the exponent of a number would be quad.
No. Anything. No. Anything. Say it. Say what you're saying again, because that wasn't the right way. Anything that
has an exponent of a number.
Of 2.
Oh.
Just with 2.
What if it has the
It's not a quadratic. It's just with 2. It has to look just like that. Okay. All right. So let's look at these. Okay, let's look at them. Which one would be A? 3. This is the only one with a straight line. Yes.
What about the one with the A axis?
Let me see
D. Y.
It's x to the second. It's x is an exponent. Anytime x is an exponent, it's an exponential function. All right. Which one is B? 4. Yeah, that's 4. Which one is C? 2. And which one is D?
1.
All right, number 5. Number 5 says the area of a square. Okay, first of all, a square is where all the sides are equal to each other. The formula for area of a square is A is equal to S to the second power, because all the sides are exactly the same. Okay, so it's telling you that the area is 152, or is about, because it has a squiggly in front of it. So we're gonna put 152 in the place of A. It's about. So what they're asking you for in this problem, they're asking you for the lengths of the sides. And you can go back and write it as a mixed number, okay? So how do you solve an equation? How do you get S by itself? How do you get rid of the square? Square root. So we're going to find the square root of 152 on both sides. How do I find the square root of 152? What do I type? What keystrokes do I type? X squared. And then type in 152. And what does that give you? Okay. 12.3. About 12.3. So each side is about 12.3. 3 or 3, whatever.
What would it be as a fraction? Would the 3 be a 3/10?
3/10. Okay.
About 3/10.
Can you just hit it?
Miss.
Yes.
Would it be about 3/10 or
About. It's still about.
I forgot that one. You were married.
Okay. The next one, number 6, it says the base of an equilateral triangle. So we're drawing an equilateral triangle. If it's an equilateral triangle, that means all the sides are the same. So if the base is 2x plus 8, then each of these sides are also 2x plus 8. What is it telling you also? That the height, how tall it is going to be 3. So h, the height is 3. Okay? They're asking for perimeter first. What does perimeter mean? What about the outside? Okay, it's the distance around the object, right?
Yeah.
So you're going to add all the sides together. So that's going to be and how many sides are there? So we're going to multiply by 3, right? Okay. So when you multiply by 3, what do you get for the perimeter? This is perimeter. Okay. So what's the formula for area of a triangle? Base times height divided by 2. So we got base times whatever the height is divided by 2. We already did 3, right? Didn't we do that? Yeah. So essentially we did the base times 3. So we got 3 times 2x plus 8, and we divide. So we already did that basically. That gave us what on the top? And now we're going to divide it by 2. So let's divide each of these by 2. 6x divided by 2 gives us what? 3x. And 24 divided by 2? 12. So this is the area. This is number 6. Any questions about that? Pause for the cause. Okay, so we got number 7. It says which, y'all look, it says which is not like the other two. All right, so let's look at the ones that are alike. Look, this has an x squared in it. This has an x squared. These are the ones that are alike. So the one that's not alike is C. C is the one that's not alike. C is not alike because what? It doesn't have the what? Very good. Does not have x to the second power. X squared. Okay? You got it? Number 8. And we know that the x squared ones make the U shape. All right. Number 8, it says the length of the diagonal of the TV. So first of all, what shape is a TV? It's a rectangle. So this is my length. What does it say that the length of the TV is? Or the width? Sorry. How wide is the TV, y'all? 25 inches. How tall is the height of the TV? 24 inches, okay? The diagonal is either from here to here or from here to here. Either or, it's the same measure. So this is the side we're trying to find. This is a right triangle. So I don't know if you remember this from last year. I don't know if they got to it or not. But in order to find the missing measurement of a right triangle, use Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus B squared equals C squared. Okay? So your A and your B are going to be the flat sides. These are called my legs. This is my A. This is my B. The slanted side is always going to be C. That's the side opposite of the right angle. So I'm going to substitute 24 for A and 25 for B. So now to do this, I need to figure out what this is. I need to do 24 squared plus 25 squared. You can type that in the calculator. Look. Do 24 squared plus 25 squared. And see what you get. Type that in. Type it in. Hold it up so I can see it. So I can see. You need practice typing it in. Yes. Okay, good. Great. Great would be so great. Great. So we got over here 1,201 is equal to c squared. Now, how do you solve for c? What do we do to solve for c? Find the square root. Good job, babe. So we find the square root on both sides. So how do I type in the square root button? Second x squared. Good. That's 1,201, right? And that's about how much? 30. Yeah, about 35.
Wait, where do you get the square root?
It's the second button and x squared. Number 9. We've done one like number 9 before, but you might not remember. It's a next now equation. You currently have 13,500. That's your starting at amount. So we're starting at 13,500 starting amount. So now it's saying that's in your savings account. You're going to earn 4.5%. You have to change your percent to a decimal, okay, to figure out how much your increase is going to be every year. So how do you go from a percent to a decimal? Move the decimal over 2 times to the what, though?
Right. I mean the left.
So this is going to be point what? 0.045. So now, does anybody remember what I write for my next now equation? What words to write? Next equals now, not plus, times what? Times 0.045. And now this is the amount that's increased. So what do I have to do with the increased amount to get the total? Add the now back. Okay? This is the equation that I'm going to use. How many years do they want us to do this? 5. So we got to do this 5 times, okay? So let's do this together. First, does anybody remember how we did that? What do we start off with first?
We typed in 13,500 and put enter.
Very good. 13,500, press enter. Okay? So now, what do we use for now? Second what? Second negative. Yeah, with second answer right here at the bottom. And we're going to say now we got times what number? 0.045, or you can put the 0 before, and then what do you do with that? Add. What are we adding? Very good. So that's press. Very good. So now how many years we got to do this?
How'd you get the hands?
Huh?
How'd you get the hands?
Press the second button and the negative button.
Oh, that, okay.
So now how many times we're going to press enter? Huh? So this is the first year, second year, third, fourth, fifth. How much is that? $16,823 and how much? 46 cents, right? Somewhere in there. And ain't no way nobody's gonna give you 4% per year. Bless it be. It don't be 4% per year. Set you up for failure. Believe in that, right? No, way less than that. All right. Let's do number 10. All you're doing with number 10 is combining the terms that are alike. You see where that plus sign is in the middle between these? So all you're doing is adding. You can only add the like terms. So let's look at this parentheses. What term is like this term here, over here? So when I add these two together, what does that give me? 4x squared. Okay, what term is like this term right here? The negative 3x. When I add these together, what do I get? No, negative 2x. And then that's okay. Then the last is this one. And what do you get when you combine those? Positive 2. This is your answer. Question.
What?
What? All I did was combine like terms.
I saw the problem.
What is that to solve? It says simplify.
You don't have to solve it.
I mean, how you gonna solve this if you don't know what x is?
Well, like you just go, you go around it. Like you just
Stop. Just stop. Please stop. I'm trying to save you. Okay. All right. Let's take out our notebook.
How do you get x squared?
What are you talking about? X squared.
For number 10.
Squared. Because I didn't do anything different. I just combined the terms that were alike. This is 5. This is 5. These two. Add these together.
I'll see you on the trip.
What is the x squared?
No, you're adding. You're not
Or
multiplying.
autistic bus.
Don't say that. Stop saying that foolishness.
Can I have a white shirt?
All right, here we go. So we're doing B. All right, so with B, we're going to do a couple and then we're going to move on. All right, so the domain is always going to be how wide it is, okay? How wide it is. So from this x value to this x value. So look, it's from negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So from negative 7 all the way over here to positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So from negative 7 to positive 5. So domain is from negative 7, these are my x values, all the way to a positive 5. Put x in the middle. So look, my x values go from here to here. This is less than equal to, but this has an open circle. So it's just less than, no equal to, because this is an open circle. It doesn't include that value. So it's just less than and not equal to. Range. Go ahead, baby.
Are they always going to be less than?
It's always less than because we put the smaller numbers first and the larger number last. But if you reverse the order, then it's greater than. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. Your range values, your y values. That's how tall it is, okay? Go from the lowest point to the highest point. The lowest point on the line is right here. The highest point on the line is right here. So on the y, you're going from negative 1, 2, 3. Is that right? 3? Oh, yeah. To up 1. So from negative 3 to 1. Okay? So the lowest point, less than equal to, highest point, less than. Makes sense? Yes.
Why'd you put less than equal to and then the one of them less?
Because this is a shaded circle. That's equal to. Open circles are just the less than. Got it? No equal to. All right. So let's do x-intercept and y-intercept. Remember, I'm abbreviating. Remember, x-intercept is where it crosses the x-axis. Y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. So let's look at where it crosses the x-axis first. It crosses the x-axis right here. You see that? This point is 1, 2, 0. 2, 0. Y-intercept, where it crosses the y-axis is right here. This is 0 and negative 1. This has a constant increase right here. It's a straight line. So the behavior here is a constant increase. Okay, and which one did I forget to do? Min and max. Okay, thank you, babe. Min and max. Your minimum value and your maximum value. The minimum value is the lowest point, which is right here. This is negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, negative 7, negative 1, 2, negative 7, negative 3. That's the lowest point of the graph. Your maximum is the highest point of the graph, right? So the highest point of the graph is up here. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, positive 1. Is that okay? Y'all got it? Okay. Any questions about how to read the graph? Find range domain, x and y intercept, min, max. So let's do, I want you to do C. Nobody said anything, but do y'all have questions for real?
No, ma'am.
Okay. So let's see if we can do C. Are you okay back there? Are you okay? You look sad. Are you sad? Oh, okay. Just making sure. So we got.
Nobody cares.
So we got C. We're gonna do C and D. I want y'all to do. Let's do C, D, and E. Y'all do that on your own. See if you can get it. Just do your best, okay? If you get it wrong, we're gonna go over it anyway. So just try. Do it now. No talking. No talking. That means your lips need to have a meeting.
I'll glue them together.
Right. Be quiet. Okay, so C, look at this. It says the domain. All right, so those are your x values, okay? So your x values are the same here. Because look, it doesn't go anywhere else. So all my x values are negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So x is equal to negative 5. All of my x values are negative 5. That's it. Range. Yes.
So we don't write.
You just write this. That's all it is. All the points that's on this line, all of the ordered pairs are going to start with negative 5, comma, whatever. Negative 5, comma, whatever. Okay? Your range, how tall it is, the height. The height goes from down here to up here. So it's negative 1, 2, and positive 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So sorry, I don't know why I put that. From negative 2 to positive 6. It goes down. It's right here. 1, 2. Goes from negative 2 to positive 6. So neither one of these are all open circles. So it's just less than, less than. It's not equal to because those are open circles. Now let's do the x-intercept and the y-intercept. Let's do x-intercept. Where does it cross the x? Where does it cross the x-axis? It crosses at negative 5 and what? 0. So negative 5, comma 0. Where does it cross the y-axis? It doesn't. It doesn't have one. That's none. Okay? So now we're doing min and max. Your minimum point is what? That's the smallest. That's down this way. That's negative 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and negative 1, 2. So negative 5 and negative 2. Got it? Maximum is the highest point on the line. That's up this way. That is negative 5 and positive 6. Okay? And the behavior here, there really isn't a behavior here. You can say that this is a vertical line. Okay, but there's really no behavior. It didn't go anywhere. There's no behavior. D. All right, your domain, again, all your possible x values can go from here to here. That's negative 1, 2, 3, 4, and positive 1, 2, 3, 4. So from negative 4 to positive 4. From negative 4 to positive 4. And less than equal to, less than equal to. Because those are solid lines. They're no open circles. Range, that's how tall it is. Where is it going? The height from what to what?
-1, -4.
-1, 2, 3, 4. This -4 all the way to what? 1, 2, 3, +4. -4 to +4. Okay. What's your x-intercept? Where does it cross the x-axis? Is 0, -4? I mean, -4 is 0. And what's the other one?
0, -4.
4 and 0. What about your y-intercept? It crosses here, down here, and up here.
I got 0, 4.
0, 4. And you're right, 0, -4. All right. Minimum and maximum. Your minimum point is the lowest point. The lowest point is down here, which is what?
0,
0, -4. And your highest point is what?
0,
0, 4. Very good. Okay. Behavior is really, there's nothing to describe there. It's a circle. Any questions?
No.
All right.
So,
Make sure that you have those completed, A through D. Put your calculators back, please.
so we gotta do the I ready thing before the 27th.
That's right. 3 already lessons complete and passed. 3. Go ahead, baby. You can change the screen.